Hi, I keep trying to do this and I'm not quite sure how you start something like this if you're not sure on posting, I suppose. For a while I've been thinking about posting a vlog or a video diary to accompany my website and my blog, but then I realised they're all very project-led or company-led. So I think I'm just going to keep this as a video diary to myself for a while, and then maybe at some point we'll post it. Today felt the right time to start doing this. One, because I have the house to myself, my parents are away, and two, because I woke up very determined that I was going to start the next chapter of my life. And then I saw a post which made me want to do it even more. I belong to a Facebook page which is full of some incredibly inspiring women who just empower each other, support everything about you as an individual, whether that be your love of vintage clothing, your tattoos, your bright coloured hair. And they do silly things like show off Sundays or tattoo Tuesdays to just really support each other. And unfortunately I woke up to the news that one of those incredible inspirations sadly passed away. She was 26 years old, and I hope her family don't mind me saying this, but she had an incredible following on Facebook, on Instagram. She had her own blog, and people really looked up to her. She empowered women. And yeah, as I say, she was 26 years old. She had her whole life in front of her whole life planned. She wanted kids. She was about to get married next year, and then she got ill. And whilst we don't know the ins and outs of it, and I'm not sure, as a group we need to know that's for her family, it still makes you think that your life can be taken so easily. And we've all been saying on that site that it's such a corny thing to say, but you have to live life to the fullest, because you don't know when it's going to be snatched away from you. It could be tomorrow, it could be 10 years time, it could be 40, you just don't know. And so I just figured today was the day I was going to take the camera and just sit down somewhere and just talk to you. Be it about me as a person, where I want to go in life, what I want to do, or I don't know. So let's just see how this one goes. I guess I should start with who I am. I am 26 years old, my name is Sarah, I live in Hampshire, and yes, I live with my parents, but for various reasons I lived away from home for 5 years whilst I was at university in Plymouth, where I stayed on for a few extra years because of work and things, and for various reasons I had to come home. I wasn't well, mentally I wasn't well, I'd repaired some bridges at home and it felt the right time. And whilst I miss it so much now, because I miss getting in the car and just driving to a beach somewhere or going out with my mates, I know that my safest place is here at home, and I'm so thankful for my mum and dad for letting me do that and support me. And so when I moved back home, I thought I'd try a few different jobs, find something that I love doing, which kind of worked, I suppose. I now work in a head office for a retail company, which it's a job, and everyone there will know that I will do everything to my fullest, but it's not where my passion is. Unfortunately, moving stock from one place to another isn't what I dreamed of doing as a kid. So, I don't know. We'll see how that one goes, but whilst I've been home, I was asked to get involved in an incredible project on my hometown, researching them throughout the 4 years of World War One. Originally it was just a little project for the church that I kind of grew up in. I'm not saying I'm religious, that's a whole different video and maybe one day. But the community in that church is something really important to me, and I said yes, I'd help them, and I did. and we found some incredible stories of some incredible people. And then we thought, hang on a minute. There are more of these stories to be told from the town. We are incredibly lucky to be in this place. So I took it upon myself to start researching more, and I applied to the Heritage Lottery, who gave me a grant of not a small amount of money to work on a 2-year project, and we are about halfway through that now. Initially I was a little bit disappointed with the traction that the project gained, I suppose. We had a launch event, barely anyone turned up to that. We've been running monthly workshops and it didn't get the traction that I hoped. But I think we've conquered it now. So last week I put on an exhibition as part of the Romsey Film Festival, and it was incredible. I panicked. I always panic myself that nobody's ever going to turn up. Why would anyone be interested in something that I do? I have a lot of self-doubt, which is something you'll get to know over time. And slowly, as weeks went on, I was getting updates from the town hall to say X amount of tickets sold, X amount, And then the day of the event, on the Thursday, I was putting the exhibition together, where we did some incredible little things, such as building living quarters within the church. I had a knock on the door, and it was a gentleman from the town hall who, he said, "You've done alright." We put on extra tickets because we were a little bit worried. And I think the total for the night was around 70 people, which is, okay, it's not a huge number, but when you live in the town that I live in, 70 is quite impressive. The exhibition continued for the Friday and the Saturday morning, and we had over 100 people through our door. For a little tiny project that is my first project, you have no idea what that meant to me. And I've started having a few people come up to me to say, "Can you help with our research?" and get involved in other projects, be it family projects. And then I thought to myself, you know what, this is what I want to do, this is what I love doing, so why can't it be my career? And there's no reason it can't be my career, and I've been trying for a while, and I never really put the heart into it, which is what I'm going to do now. I've started building the website, I've got the company name, I'm registering it through, and I'm just going to go for it because I'm 26. I have nothing to lose at this moment in time. I still have my other job, which I can fall back on, or I can come away from quite easily. I have incredible friends and family around me that do support me, so I'm just going to go for it. And this, I guess, is about watching me develop from this point in time where I'm still quite low in myself, I'll be honest, to hopefully this great thing that I can achieve. That said, there are other things that I then need to attack in my life. Like I said, I've always been surrounded in self-doubt and self-disbelief and very low confidence. Through various situations, I suppose you could say, I've got myself into it during my life, which again maybe I'll go into at some point, maybe I won't. They're quite personal to me and the people that were involved in the situation, I suppose. It's not fair on them if I was to put their names out there, and for that reason I won't ever do that. But since taking this project on and getting involved in the place that I work at now, my confidence has really grown, and whilst I feel like I've been let down by some people in my life, some friends in my life, my sister said something to me the other day that was just, maybe you need to start cutting ties with those people that you constantly feel like you're, I want to say chasing, but it's the wrong word, I don't mean that. That I'm just incredibly frustrated by it. And don't get me wrong, I'm proud of them, whatever they've achieved in their life, whatever they're going to achieve in their life, but their support to me, where they pick me up and drop me and say yes, they'll help in something and they don't, is purely frustrating, and it's not something I need in my life right now. And when you see them saying they haven't got time for you, and then next thing they're out gallivanting with some old mates from uni or people that they now know. I'm not gonna lie, it hurts a little bit, but we all have to move on at some point, and I guess today is the day I'm gonna do that. I have some incredible people in my life, dotted here, there and everywhere, which is frustrating, but it does mean you get to travel about a bit, and they've always believed in me, and I hope they always will believe in me, and I hope they are now beginning to be proud of what I'm doing, instead of sitting at home moping or complaining or moaning about something or someone. I'm just going to do it. But I know to be that person, I've got to change some things in my life, such as maybe the friends that I do have, and most of all, I want to say the way I look, but that makes me sound so, I don't know. For a long time I've never been happy in the way I looked. When I was a kid I was quite big. When I was at university I went from being quite big to borderline ill. I was just skin and bones. And then I came home and I went to being quite big again, which I think was quite a natural thing when you live at home with your mum and dad. There's always food about, and I have a tendency of when I'm bored or anxious to just eat. And so now I think I'm at that age where I just thoroughly believe that nobody can like you, love you, be happy for you. If you're not happy for yourself, it just feels very fake. So, like I say, I'm going to do something about it. I'm now going to the gym with a very good friend of mine, and I've started watching what I eat, and I'm going to get into that happy place again. Because right now I look in the mirror and I just don't know who's looking back at me, and I've had that for a long time, and it just makes it harder to put that face on in the morning, that smile, that act. And that's getting very thin anyway. It's tiring. It really is tiring pretending to be happy all the time. And why can't I just be happy? I guess that's a question I have to find the answer to myself. But to do that I need to forget about comparing myself to other people around me and thinking, well, hang on a minute, how did they get there and how are they there and I'm not, and do you know what, you're getting married, you've got buying a house, and stupid things like that. It's not about them, it's about me, and that's really egotistical and selfish, but sometimes you have to be. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes you have to be, because if you don't take care of yourself, it's difficult to even let anyone else try. And like I say, for that reason I may have to cut people out of my life, people that are egotistical, worried about fitting in with other groups rather than being honest to themselves, worried about what the rumour around the office is. I used to be that person, and it's not healthy. So I'm not going to be that person now. I know it's not a click of the fingers overnight change. It's something you have to work on and grow with. And I'm prepared to do that. I'm prepared to not be the person sat on their phone constantly watching it, waiting for someone to text them, or waiting for somebody to reply to an email. It's not about that. If this works, it works. If it doesn't, then you move on, you find the next project. And the reason I want to do this video is to keep a log for myself, to prove to myself that I am going to do it. To prove to other people out there it can be done. And you never know, maybe one day I will post it. And if I do, I hope then that it brings some confidence to other people, because we talk about depression, we talk about anxiety, but we don't deal with it. We talk about bullying and all of this, we don't deal with it. And it's frustrating. You know, how many people out there, be them vloggers, pop stars, movie stars, strong people that we know that all talk about anxiety and depression, and we don't address why that is there. We put ourselves under so much pressure through the amount of social medias that we use, and then we watch for the negative comments pour in. And you know what, if I ever do post this, then go ahead, post your negative comments. I don't care. I don't anymore, because you're a keyboard warrior. Would you say it to my face? No, probably not. You're a keyboard warrior, and that's all that matters. But if I can show one person that it can be done, that after years of self-doubt, self-hatred, and almost trying to take your life on occasion, you can turn that around and become the person you really want to be, and do the things you really want to do, and be the strong person that is independent, that dresses the way they want, looks the way they want, and doesn't care what everyone else thinks. Then that's worth 1,000 negative comments, because do you know what? I've made one person's life better. And now that I sit here and I say these things, I actually think, do you know what? Sod it. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna see what people say, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. I'm not sitting here to become a YouTuber or a vlogger. I'm just sitting here to tell my story, because I've spoken to people who have been in my situation and not known a way out, and sometimes just talking makes it better. Seeing you're not the only one that feels like that makes it better. So I'm gonna maybe just put this on YouTube. I'm not gonna link it to a Facebook or a Twitter account or my blog or anything. I'm just gonna watch the responses and see what happens. But because I do that doesn't mean that I will continue to do that, and maybe it will become personal, and maybe it will become this big thing. I don't know. Right now I'm not sure what my next step is outside of the little bubble that I want to create for myself. But equally I want people to know that there are other people out there that are willing to help and talk and have been through similar situations. They may not have been identical, but they've got them through a bad time. So if I post this, then it's not about comments, but I will read them. Negative ones I'm not going to pay any attention to, but positive ones I will. If I post this, it doesn't mean there's going to be another one. If there are positive comments, then I probably will, but it doesn't mean it's going to turn it into something bigger. And like I say, it won't be every day, it might not be every week. It might be when I'm having a down day, and it might be when I've had a really good day, or it might be when something's going really well. I don't know, I just don't have those answers right now, but even sitting here and saying this to you now, I feel so empowered that finally I'm taking control of my own destiny, I suppose. It just sounds so corny to say, and I've heard other people say it and thinking, what are you on? But I'm going to do it, because if no one else can do it for you. So that's me in a nutshell, and who knows where we'll go from here, and if we will go from anywhere, or even if this will land up somewhere. But I felt like I needed to get it out, and without boring the people in my life that I love, who have heard it millions of times before, or just writing it down. I don't know, it feels good to get it out and tell people what I'm going to do, and now I can be held accountable that I am going to do it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I can say I've tried, and at this age, if I don't try now, whenever am I going to try again, you know? I don't have people relying on me, I don't have the mortgage yet, now feels a good time to discover me, to look after me, to choose the career I want to do, and to really, I don't know, celebrate me. That sounds a bit silly, I know, but sometimes you have to. And whilst I'm sat here, I do want to thank those people that have supported me through thick and thin, that have, I can honestly say I probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for a couple of them. And there have been some incredibly dark times, but equally there has been some amazing times that I will never forget. And I just hope that this is the beginning of them, and that we can create more memories that show that I'm turning my life around. Drawing a line under the negativity, the self-doubt, and the past stories from my life. They have made me who I am, and I'm kind of thankful for that in a weird way, but equally, they're not going to make me who I'm going to become. If that makes sense. I think I'm going to leave it there for today. And as I say, maybe this will become something. I'm really not sure at this moment in time where my life is going. A few months' time I could still be exactly where I am, but I'll have an answer at least. And I'll know I've tried. And that's all I can ask of myself right now. So I'm going to leave it there. And maybe we'll see each other again.